Hi, wonderful people of YouTube. I welcome everyone on board to today's video. My special appreciation goes to those that are my loyal viewers who have subscribed to the channel and keep on coming back to watch more of my content. I equally welcome those that are new viewers who have taken the time off to click on my video to watch my content. Today's video is actually going to displease a lot of people because it's going to sadden those that are school lovers to hear that school is. Now, I know after watching this video, some people might have contrary opinions. Those opinions are welcome at the comment section. You can leave them at the comment section. It will also mean a lot to me after watching the video. You like and you subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. To know the very details, make sure you stick and stay around, for I'll be coming away pretty soon with the details of the video. See you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back. Now, if you look at it critically, there is a strategic paragon of revolution since the onset of the 21st century. That is breaking barriers and unconsciously changing the way things are done and breaking the power of monopoly and ushering in a more liberal world. This century has actually made things so easy for us and has made us to understand that to execute a business or a job, you don't necessarily have to have a physical contact with people, but the power of the internet rules and has turned the whole world into a global community where people can easily connect with each other and establish business. This is what is ushering in what is known as the paradigm shift. In fact, current generation people should be happy about what is happening right now. The revolution that this century is bringing on board is huge. The 21st century is actually breaking a lot of bounds and breaking a lot of norms that have been known over centuries. Now, one of the things that will shock a lot of people is the digitization of money, which is making money to go digital, making currency to go digital with the introduction of cryptocurrency. Now, what this will do is that it will take the power of monopoly from the central banks, from banks that are commercial, and then make people have power over their own money and thereby building digital assets for themselves. This means that sooner or later, banking and the services of banks will go obsolete, will go out of date. Power of this century that we are living in. School is equally not left out of this paradigm. School does not understand that acquiring knowledge has gone beyond just lumping people together in the four corners of a classroom like they're in prison and taking them through academic torture to learn things that might not be relevant. But then knowledge now has become more liberal, where people are allowed to pick what they can do, identify what they can do that have relevance to the century, learn and adapt to it, then it becomes relevant to them and useful to the century. And to get this kind of knowledge, you have to depend and rely on digital platforms to learn and acquire some of this knowledge and skills. Knowledge now is very liberal on the internet. You can literally learn anything online. School is still holding on to things that are very traditional and things that do not fit in with this century, and it's still using methodology and teaching people things that have no or little value in this our century, thereby making people look elsewhere to acquire skills. And that is relying on the internet, relying on the digital age to understand things that are helpful and relevant to this century. The impact and value of school in this 21st century continues to unfortunately wane off. There's a huge dramatic shift in how skills and knowledge are acquired with this 21st century, therefore putting school far behind the century. Online learning employs a technique known as gamification, where the learner interacts with the learning in the form of a game. But in learning context, it becomes learning for the individual. It allows the individual to have fun in the learning and coming out with outcomes that will help him to learn easily and so fast. It employs the technique of using what is known as VR and AR learning. VR means virtual reality. It allows the learner to have a three-dimensional experience with his learning environment by using headsets and glasses. And this to simulate realistic scenarios in a digital space, enabling the learner to practice skills and understand the outcome in a realistic simulated scenarios. There is a new dimension to what knowledge is, what skill is, in terms of its relevance to real life situations. And this kind of knowledge is not something not what we get in outdated intellectual learnings in school. School is actually oblivious of what is currently happening right now and still holding on to things that are methodologies that are traditional, skills that are traditional and obsolete and actually not relevant to this century. The purpose of school is to offer skills, is to give people knowledge, to train people with knowledge and skills. But unfortunately, those knowledge and skills are becoming antiquated, are becoming archaic, and are not relevant to this century. They are no more relevant with this technological world, which is witnessing a huge deviation and change from the traditional school learning system and now witnessing a more digital learning system with different skill mindset, making learning now more liberal. Even companies are now relying on online platforms to upgrade the skills of their employees. It is on record that in 2017, about 80% of companies relied on online platforms to upgrade the skills of their employees because those skills are relevant to the job market in which the employees are in. And this has even continued to increase in recent years. The digital learning system keeps on updating and match with the current technological tweak. And that means that people will always have to update their skills and knowledge with the current changes in how work is done. And now if you look at it, school is static. It's not updating. But the digital learning system keeps on updating and keep on updating its skills and knowledge. So people have to now rely on these platforms to acquire skills. And this is what one will not get from the traditional school system. The advent of technological learning skills, which has seen a deviation from the school norm, means that people who are still dependent upon school to have skills will become deficient and become aliens in their own world. Sad it is. School has offered a lot of heavy decorated certificates to people, but now they come out and face the real life and realize that those skills they've gotten that have given them those heavy decorated certificates are not applicable to the real world situation. And sometimes some of them have to be smart enough, dump those certificates, and really learn new skills to be able to fit in the century. Acquiring new skills online continues to grow every day. Research and market forecast the online learning platform to reach as much as $350 billion by 2025. So now one can see that it's quite a thriving market. It's a booming market for the online learning platforms, because a lot of people want to learn new skills that are relevant to the century that we live in. With the growth in technology and the digital learning platforms, and then the desire to learn new skills, platforms such as Udemy, Coursera, Skillshare, Udacity, among others, continues to offer skills training to millions of people across the globe, and these are skills that school will not offer, and they are relevant in this era. Now, why will people choose to learn online? The number one reason why people learn online is that it is cheaper and more convenient. If you compare online learning to the school system, where you have to pay huge school fees to acquire skills and knowledge which are not even relevant, which are archaic, and you look at the online learning platforms, it's much cheaper, because you can easily identify a skill that you think is relevant to this era and find an online tutor, and you are ready to go to learn your new skills which are relevant and can help you in your job career or your business venture. Besides, you will sit at the comfort of your home, and at your own convenience you learn. As simple as it is. You don't have to go to the robotic school system and go to those rules and unnecessary things that will even eventually waste your years. Number two, another reason why people would prefer to rely on online digital platforms is that those platforms keep on updating, because new knowledge, new skills keep on emerging every day. Skills that were relevant 20, 15, 10, 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, are no more relevant currently. And the need for one to keep on updating his knowledge and skills. In fact, people are even confused right now, because things keep on changing. One cannot predict and determine what will happen in the next 2, 5, 10 years time. But then school does not know that things are uncertain. The school is not aware that the current era we live in now is a dynamic era. It's not static. Now, 3, the beauty of this era, this century, is that with the online learning, with digital learning, it gives people the opportunity to identify a particular skill, to identify their potentials and capability, and start learning towards those potentials and capabilities that are relevant in this century. And those are necessary to meet their dreams and aspirations, opposed to the traditional school system, where students are pinned down to go through academic torture and do rote learning, otherwise known as chew and pour, just to pass exams. People are so busy because of the rising cost of living people are so busy to make money and will not have that time to go and spend years, 4 years, 3 years, 6 years or so in the four corners of the university to learn skills that they might not even need. But then with this digital age, yes, at your own convenience, you can still be doing your business or whatever you are into and still be learning online. It's much easier and very convenient. So why would I go and spend so many years at the four corners of the classroom to acquire certain skills that I might not even need? The onset of COVID-19 has further affirmed the status quo of the digital world, where it taboos human contact. So now what is going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of innovation. There's going to be a whole lot of revolution on how work is done, and which means that the revolution will affect school skilled jobs, and eventually a lot of people will lose their jobs. And when this happens, it is at this time that a lot of skilled professionals, a lot of school skilled professionals will begin to now realize that their school professional skills are irrelevant to the era that we live in now. So now what they will do now is to depend on online learning platforms to learn new skills that can help them adjust to the current situation we find ourselves in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate your time and effort you spent with me from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. I do appreciate your time and effort. In case you watch the video and you find value in the video, please do subscribe. Please subscribe, like, and in case you have contrary opinions, those opinions are welcome. You can leave them at the comment section, and I will make sure that I will reply to you and have an engagement. My next video shall be on professions that people love so much that will be out of date in the next few years. So to catch up with that video, make sure that you subscribe and keep updated about the next video. Thank you for sticking and stay around. I do appreciate your time. See you again in my next video.